Welcome to the Pimp My Setup highlights for episode number 126. The first setup was submitted by Manuel. Underneath, really happy with how that turned out because some people might say it looks like a mess, but when you look closely, it's really organized. You know, everything from the power strips and whatnot's mounted to the underside of the desk. He's even got the subwoofer cables neatly zip tied and things. And yes, it's an exposed cable, but the difference is it's actually managed, and that's a big deal. So it's okay to have the cable showing if it's properly managed. Theme, I had a hard time with that because we can't really see too much going on. We see that stuff, but I felt like if anything, it might be a little bit randomly placed behind the monitors. Think about when he's sitting there, he can't actually see any of that. We didn't really get a full feel for how his room looked overall, and it's like he's got the green, you know, Razer mouse pad, the RGB keyboard, a red chair. I just didn't understand fully what was going on there. Just really nice overall, and this desk is perfect for a triple monitor setup, and I really like that. I just wish I could have seen a little bit further back. Manuel scored an 80. The next setup was submitted by SirGreed. I know some people are going to complain that it's like just weird, like a weird vibe from it, and I kind of get that weird vibe. I don't think the usability is perfect. It looks like he's using a 4x3 display on the left, which is just weird to me, and I almost thought it would be useless if anything. I didn't really like that, and it felt like the Asus wasn't really dead center in front of his keyboard. You know, it looks like he was trying to set a primary display, but he's not actually sitting primarily in front of it, so very odd in that regard. Nothing on the walls above. I would have loved to see some personality. That's where it kind of lacked here, but if you look underneath, he really just has a like little shelf for each side, which isn't the end of the world. It is like a Signum. A Signum isn't cable management. We get that. It's just a place to hang the cables. It's a floor in the air, and I really did like this, but I just wish the cables were actually managed. SirGreed scored a 76. The next setup was submitted by Thomas. Wow, this guy, I mean, you can't say he doesn't have theme. I mean, we know what he loves. You know, you got your subwoofer on your desk. That's a no-no. Don't like that. The mouse pad is like a mouse pad for ants. I don't know how do you move? You can't use both. It's, a lot of cool stuff though, like little Pokeball, BB-8, Boba Fett, and everything like that. I just don't think that's the exact spot for it. And I think that kind of goes for your whole room. You need to learn to just kind of condense a little bit and sort of have a better method of displaying everything. Thomas scored a 70. The next setup was submitted by Liam. Liam's setup is definitely simple. Now, I do like what he's going for. It's just hard because his walls and really his room for that matter is like blah, kind of gives off like a throw up orangish vibe. It's very odd. You know, I love the poster above. I even like the calendar. All that stuff is nice. I would try to frame that poster. If not, no big deal. It's just simple. There's not a lot to say about it. There's nothing you can really do about it. You just kind of shit out of luck. Liam scored a 66. The next setup was submitted by Shahrukh. Now, a lot of people, they see this and they're like, oh my God, look at all the stuff. It's so fancy. It's so nice. All the colors, and it's like so clean. They love it. Don't get me wrong. Amazing setup. The amount of work that went into this is just insane. But for me personally, and I know some people will agree, some people will not agree, it's just not doing it for me. I don't get hard when I look at it. I don't know how I don't know how else to explain it. Like, it just doesn't have, and I'm not gonna say it doesn't have the wow factor at first glance, especially the first photo. It's like, whoa, that's cool. But I look at the left wall and I'm like, I mean, didn't really do anything with that at all. Very boring and bland. Even above the monitors, I think that's like, I get it. He's going for the minimalistic, simplistic look. I get that. I like the different colors. I think that's cool, but I think more could have been done with it. I'm not saying fill your walls to the max. I just don't feel like there's a lot going on there. Shahrukh scored a 94. The next setup was submitted by Sanjay. This setup just got itself a freaking 100. I gave it 100. I gave it 100. I gave it 100, and I am okay with that. Like, I didn't think I'd ever really give something 100, but god damn, this is it. Wire management. Say, what? I don't see any wires. Yeah, because he's got this super sexy tubing coming out of sight, out of mind. Now look at his desktop. Is there anything on his desk that should not be there, that he does not use on a daily basis. And don't tell me the plant. No one uses a plant, dumbass. It's a display. Out of sight, out of mind. Perfect. Usability. He's got his primary display. He's got a secondary display for whatever else he may need. Everything that he needs, keyboard, mouse, all that stuff, perfectly in place. Perfect. Accessories. He's got everything he needs. Literally everything I just went over. Peripherals, accessories, everything. Perfect. Theme. Look at it. He's got everything on display that he loves. Little shadow boxes, his favorite movies at the top, different series that he really likes, different anime things, little bobbleheads. And then look at the whole entire room. First off, insanely clean. Love the overall color scheme and whatnot. He's got a projector screen at the top. He's got an insanely good TV. He's got framed photos that look amazing. And no matter what angle you look at, it's just a very clean, personal setup that looks amazing. Sergey scored a 100. The next setup was submitted by Brennan. Brennan, my man, you are smart because yes, I could see what you mean. You don't have control over things that are pretty hideous. I see how you did some wire management with actually like feeding cables through holes through the desk. Props there. Wow. I mean, that's really good. The actual desktop itself, the cars, things like that. Maybe it would be better if you put it on the under shelf where the sharpener is, because that way it's not like taking up any space. Not the end of the world though. Usability is pretty good. It's a small desk, so trying to use the laptop and the actual PC is pretty hard. But for 10, I mean, holy crap, really pretty good. Brendan scored a 70. The next setup was submitted by Rhys. It's not a a normal setup that we'll talk about, because believe it or not, his desk, it's got no computer. Yeah, the PS4 is on the floor. That's the first issue, and you got the power strip right there. That's the second issue. And then the third issue is that really, I don't think I fully understand what you're going for here. Now, I love the furniture. I get that part of it, but playing off your dresser, I used to do it all the time. I think that some changes need to be made. You need to come up some room for the PS4. You need to hide that power strip behind one of the pieces of furniture and then just run the cables along the floor. I would tell you to put some stuff on the wall and whatnot, but like you got this black and gray, white contrasting setup going on, and I think it's cool. So I think you should stick with that. Rhys scored a 74. The next setup was submitted by Bradley. I don't think someone would understand. I don't think someone would guess that, like, yeah, he just started a month ago, because it's like, holy crap, Brad. I mean, you got a lot of shit. Like, I mean, the shelves are complete. I mean, it kind of reminds me of my shelves here in the studio, because I have a lot of stuff because I'm trying to like show my personality, and I always get people telling me like, Matt, you have way too much on your shelves. And I'm like, screw you. At first glance, so much going on. I don't even know if you'd be able to condense this. It's almost as if you just need a bigger setup overall. But for something like this, I would love to be able to look at the one shelf and see just the baseballs, and then the next one just the footballs. But I understand you probably have it in an order that makes sense to you, but I feel like if you want to declutter a little bit, you got to simplify each little shelf to one specific theme. PC though, I mean, congratulations, welcome to the PC Master Race. Maybe not the best spot for it, but I understand that it's hard to find a good spot because I don't think it fits on the underside there. So Bradley scored a 72. The final setup was submitted by Safe, and normally I'm not a big fan of having books all over the place, but if you look at that first photo, I like that bookshelf. I think it looks like you're smart and you know what you're doing. The second photo kind of shows like behind. Looks like an awesome room overall, like just a cool hangout place. Taking a look at the final photo, you kind of see like how the LEDs look, and LEDs really help this setup. I love the PC. I love how everything works. I know some people might think that it's a little cramped in that corner, but I don't think it is at all. And that's the beauty of that corner piece. I actually have it in my bedroom. Really, I love that it has the nice curve, gives you so much room to work with, and it really feels like a huge spot. So I really enjoy how this was all laid out. Safe scored a 92. Sergey walked away with first place, getting the first ever 100. Thanks for watching the Pimp My Setup highlights for episode number 126.